What's up, guys? Andy here, and today I want to talk a little bit about how you can improve your writing if you feel so compelled and inclined to do so. So look, as a registered dietitian, I absolutely love writing. I've been writing for years. I've written 10, 11 books, and you can see I've lost count, so I've written quite a few, hundreds of blog posts for myself, for local newspapers, for website platforms abroad. I mean, there's just like the value of writing to myself personally to increase my knowledge base, to increase my confidence and competence in speaking about various topics. And you'll see if you watch my videos, hopefully I do speak quite articulately. Yeah, the irony there. And that's in large part due to my writing. Okay, there's no question about it. It's the reason why I create a writing coaching service called Kaleigraphy, which is simply just the combination of the word kale, which is health, and calligraphy, which is creative writing. But this video is not about me. It's about you. Okay. Now, when it comes to writing, there's two things that you're looking to keep in mind, right? It's what are you writing about and how you write it. So I'm going to give you tips on both of these areas. So the first question: what should you write about, or what are you writing about? Well, the way I see it, when it comes to health and nutrition writing, there are two types of writing, generally speaking. Okay. There's reflective writing and there's scientific writing. Now, scientific writing is kind of obvious what that is. Okay. Talking about nutrition for depression, which I just wrote an article on, nutrition for anxiety, nutrition for cholesterol, and so on and so forth. Writing that requires scientific literature references and support, in conveying key messages. Okay, that's one type of writing. The second type of writing is reflective writing. Now, when I coach people with writing, I generally recommend they do at least one reflective article to start, because what reflective writing is just essentially speaking about your own personal experiences. So you really can't get that wrong. All right. Now, of course, there are ways to do it better than others, and I can help you with that. But really, what was it like to be a dietetic intern? What was it like to work in this position? What was it like to go through this experience? Sharing your experiences is invaluable, especially in the field of nutrition, because in every cohort, whether you are an undergraduate, an intern, you're employed, you're working for yourself, the transitions between these phases are very interesting, because for each phase, there's a subset of people in the phase before who are so curious about your journey and how they can apply the lessons that you learned for yourself, right? It's wonderful. It's wonderfully effective. And it's so rewarding to reflect and to put words down on paper. You can't possibly explain the feeling you get from a nice, complete piece of writing that you really put your heart into. So that's one thing, right? The second thing is scientific writing. All right. So what do you write about in the scientific realm, and how do you come up with topics? So I'm going to give you, let's say, 3 things to think about. All right. Number 1, Google Amazon top selling supplements. Okay. On that top 10 selling supplements list, or top 50 selling supplements list, any content based on the supplements will do well, not only in the sense that it's going to come up in real life, because if a supplement is a top selling supplement on Amazon, that means obviously a lot of people are using it and a lot of people are interested in it. Now, just because it's a top selling supplement doesn't mean that it works or it does what it says it's going to do. But alas, it's very important for you to write about and for you to understand. Number 1. Number 2 is, what are the most prescribed medications? Okay, find out in your part of the world, in your country, which medications are most frequently prescribed. Because for every medication that's prescribed, the condition for which it's prescribed, there's almost inevitably some complementary or alternative approaches utilizing nutrition science that can help. And if someone's taking a medication, as I experience myself with my clients, people don't always love that. It's not to say that medication doesn't have a very important role to play in healthcare. That's not what I'm saying at all. But it's inevitable that if someone has a condition, they're going to probably be at least partially inclined to learn more about it from a nutrition perspective. Okay. The third thing you can do simply is just Google what are the top Googled or top searched health conditions or health terms this year. All right. So go and do that. See what health conditions people are most interested in. Is it psoriasis? Is it eczema? Is it, the keto diet? Whatever the case may be. Now, writing on that content will do well, not only because, again, people are interested in it. Obviously, if they're Googling it, they're interested in it, but also because, you need to be able to speak about that stuff, right? So that is that's some free advice on what you should write about. But let's talk a little about how you should write, okay? Now, obviously, this is what I help my calligraphy clients with, and this is something that is very, very important to master, because the biggest roadblock to writing, in my opinion, in the people that I work with and the people that I speak to, is that people think that writing needs to be some overly elaborate process that it cannot be efficient, cannot be time effective, and maybe it just isn't worth it, which I disagree with all of the above, okay? But you just have to know how to approach articles and how to write. So let me give you some free tips in this regard. First of all, start off not necessarily with the title of the article, although if you have that, great, cool. But start off with the 3 key messages or 3 key themes of the article. So if it's a simple article, like 3 ways to lower your cholesterol, well, you've already got it done for you, right? But take it a step further, because those themes are going to be subheadings for your piece. Now, creating subheadings when writing an article is very, very important beforehand, because if all you have is a broad topic, then you're just staring at a blank page with no direction. But if you know that you're going to convey three key messages, and in communication science, it is very valuable and important to kind of stick to three, because that's just proven to be the most effective. People can retain that better. It's easier for you as the writer and the communicator to kind of come up with the ideas, and you're not stretching it too far. It also forces you to pick the three most impactful messages and make those types of decisions, okay? So come up with three themes of the article, whether it's a reflective piece, whether it is a piece on, again, cholesterol, eczema, psoriasis, whatever the content is. Come up with three key themes, three key subheadings, and then what you've done is already at the start, instead of having a blank slate with like you really just writing stuff, you've created a fill-in-the-blank situation where all you really need to do then is for each subheadings is to put in the nutrition science that's available there, and you've already taken massive strides to finish the article. Now, of course, the next step you need to do is write, a brief introduction and a brief conclusion. Now, my opinion is the introduction is much more important than the conclusion, because people may not even bother reading the conclusion, because all it should be is a reiteration of the key points of the article. But the introduction is very, very important. And the biggest area I find people lacking when it comes to introducing a topic is they lack a storytelling component. Sometimes introductions that I've read are very like direct, bland, the sentences don't flow, and certainly they don't transition well into the subheadings. So you have to be very careful. And obviously, look, this is something I can help you with and something that you can get better with time. But I'll tell you this. Try to maintain a storytelling aspect. You're trying to tell a story, right? So if I write an article on cholesterol, I don't just want to write, cholesterol is bad, and let me teach you how to get rid of it. No, I'm going to say the following, okay? I'm going to say that cholesterol lowering medication is among the most frequently prescribed in North America, and yet we have so much nutrition knowledge on cholesterol lowering through nutrition. So in today's article, I'm going to bring you through three key things you can do to lower your cholesterol with your diet. Boom, 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 done, right? So we've stated the problem, and then we've transitioned into the content. And all I need for that is 50 to 100 words. I also want you to be aware of one other thing, and one other common mistake writers make is that please, please, please make sure that the title of your article is indicative of what the article is actually about. I've read articles where there's a title, I read the first sentence, and I already know that this content has nothing to do with the title. So you need to have a title that aptly captures the theme of the article, okay? So whether or not you come up with the title before you write or after you write, that's not that important as long as you know what the theme of the article is. So this is just some free advice, guys, me just riffing, ranting on writing. Obviously, hopefully you can see I'm very passionate about it. If you are looking to have some writing coaching, if you're a health professional or in any sort of area related to, blog writing or anything like that, let me know. I am a proficient writer, prolific writer, maybe I might call myself, maybe. Yeah, I think so. So yeah, anyway, guys, I'm going to stop there before I start mumbling. All right, have a good one.